Welcome, everybody, to No Outside Food Allowed, episode 36. We're here to nerd out with you guys about movies, games, and TV. Today, we're covering a bunch of new castings for DC, a little history lesson, our AFI Top 100 coverage, and another quiz, Predator-related. Ooh. My name's Adam, and I'll be the Scrooge McDuck today.
You gotta say it right, bro.
Scrooge McDuck.
There you go.
My nephews.
My nephews.
Chris Felix.
Oh, God, Huey.
Louis.
Sam Lim.
Louis.
And Chris Gagne.
Did I hear Huey and Louie, so I'm Dewey?
Deputy Dewey.
Oh
Good.
my God.
Beautiful.
Deputy Dewey.
So I want to start by saying this week we picked up DC Universe, which I've been geeking out with all weekend.
Oh.
I've been watching a lot of the animated series for Batman because it was Batman Day yesterday.
Yes.
Really enjoying this so far. Did you guys take a look at it?
I've actually dabbled into Hawk and Dove 2011 run 8 issue by
I saw
Rob
the comic
Liefeld.
book you were reading.
And it's very interesting so far. Like the version that Rob Liefeld is doing is very in your face, a lot of tension, a lot of action, and just the representation of the avatars between Hawk and Dove. And this one, Dove is a female representative instead of being a male. And it was nice to get some insight, and of course the wonderful artwork by Rob Liefeld himself.
Are they characters Rob Liefeld created?
I don't think he created those guys, but I know he
I'll have
did.
to look 'em up.
He did the comic book version for this run
That
for
run.
for 2011.
Okay.
I definitely recommend to read. 2 issues in, and so far it's been amazing. All the violence, the zombies.
He's like all the violence.
It has everything you
Yeah,
want in a
zombies?
comic book.
In a superhero movie or comic?
Yeah. It reminds you of a very early 90s Jim Lee comic where there's just a lot of action and the pacing just keeps on going.
For sure.
Yeah.
What did you think about reading comics on the TV?
Oh, mine doesn't do the smart TV, so I've been doing it
He's
off the
on
phone. Yeah. So no big deal.
So, real quick on Hawk and Dove. They were created by Steve Ditko and
Oh, okay.
Steve Skeetes.
Okay.
Oh, no
Okay.
way.
Yeah.
Nice.
Debuted in 1968.
There you
So,
go.
Fun fact. I did see some of the comics on my TV, though, and that's fucking sweet.
Right.
Holy crap. I mean, like, I love the fact that you can watch or read the entire DC catalog, and it's just awesome. that I
We've
can-
reached the pinnacle
Yeah.
of technology for
We're at the age
mankind.
where I can zoom in on one single panel
I
and it's
know.
on my 65-inch TV. Holy crap, it's amazing. So, yeah, it's awesome. But I mean, the fact that you can use it on tablet, phone, whatever, this is like a travel device. It's great. I haven't really watched anything just yet. But I just kind of wanted to browse through the library, and there's a lot of stuff. I
Oh,
can't wait to get
dude!
into.
Like the fact that there's Lois and Clark, there's Batman the Animated Series, there's Teen Titans, there's the Batman movies. Like there's a lot so far for its soft opening, I want to call it, and I think it was the best call ever as a group to purchase this for the group itself for Nofa Show. Best call ever, Adam.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
it's on the company card.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
You're
Fearless leader charging us into battle.
you're the VIP
and
of the
now
week.
going to be the man responsible for me losing
Many hours. Many hours.
I'm impressed, and far be it from us who have been not bashing but been pretty upset with some of the things that have been going on. Like, I did not have optimism when it came to this. I was like,
You're like, oh god, just
I don't
another
know.
pay
And
service.
it seems like, it just seems like they have been very calculated and smart with how they rolled it out, making sure it's running. I've been checking on it to make sure the site hadn't crashed. Like, the only issue I think I had was like I couldn't smart cast it to my TV. It wouldn't like register it for some reason, but it's playing fine on other media devices. But the stuff that they have available, I was geeking out. I felt like a kid again.
Totally.
Like, finding old Superman comics that I remembered reading growing up and going, oh my god, yeah, like you said, Felix, you could see them on your TV.
Yeah,
Like,
it's so
that's,
great.
That's insane. Yeah, it's amazing.
I think it's a smart purchase.
Oh, totally.
so
And
once-
I feel like there's a ton more stuff they need. That
Oh,
they can
there's
put
more
out.
to come. There's
Yeah.
more to come. I just
Oh,
want to let
yeah.
you guys know. Last night I actually watched the new Death of Superman.
Was it good?
It's gonna be really crazy when you watch it
Yeah.
because I need to tell you guys right now. Small spoiler: Lex Luthor's gonna come
Superman
off.
dies.
Besides that part, Lex Luthor comes off a little weird, a little bit.
Little Eisenberg.
No.
Yeah.
Actually, Hannibal Lecter.
Oh,
The way he
interesting.
talks comes
Yeah,
off very
okay.
Hannibal Lecter, and I was very confused why the actor chose that. I looked it up. It was Rainn Wilson,
Oh, really?
Dwight from The Office.
nice.
He was Lex Luthor, and he did it just right. When you understood the voice actor and what he's aiming for, it made more
It
sense.
actually played well, huh?
It was surprisingly it played well.
Okay.
And
I'll check it out.
This version is the new 52 cast.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it was good voice acting, good artwork, and definitely like just watch the whole thing to the very end because there's like 4, maybe 5 post-credit scenes.
Nice.
So you guys-
I heard this was the definitive version of the story. So
Well, for now,
Like
Yeah.
it.
for now, until
Yeah,
they
didn't they release
relaunch.
like one like 2 or
So
3
they make a
years
live
ago?
action one.
Oh,
There's another animated version.
yeah,
just
it
called
was a
Doomsday, I
while.
think.
It was almost 10
It was
years ago.
called Doomsday,
Yeah,
right?
Doomsday.
And not to mention we just had BVS like
Yeah.
a couple years ago too. So
Yeah, but I mean, let's get it right.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll admit, even that in
it's
BVS,
on
as
the
much as I
record.
enjoyed the movie, still got it wrong. So
this one's way better. It's more homage to the comics.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that for sure.
Nice.
One last thing, I was watching DC Daily,
Uh-huh.
and they showed a little clip from Titans,
Okay.
which was really cool. They had both the Robins kind of talking to each other in the elevator.
Yeah, about
And,
the Batmobile.
yeah, about the Batmobile. And one, the newer Robin, he was like, yeah, and he usually, he'll let me,
Damian.
he'll let me drive the Batmobile. And then, I guess Dick Grayson, he goes, what, he let you drive the Batmobile? You know,
It's so jealous.
Yeah,
every
it was-
Robin's in this then?
two Robins, there was 2 Robins.
Well, because it's that storyline where it's Dick Grayson
Yeah.
and then Damian.
And then Jason Todd's in here too, right?
I don't know yet.
But Jason Todd.
It might have been Jason
isn't
Todd,
Jason
not
Todd
Damian.
the Robin who is in Titans, right?
Yeah, I think
Oh.
it might have been Jason Todd instead of
Okay.
Damian.
I thought I heard something
Yeah,
about
Todd
Todd being in
and
there. Okay.
But yeah, it was a clever scene. I think it looks good. Looking forward to whatever they put up on it. So let's jump on to Spider-Man here, Felix. You said you finished it up.
I finished it.
No spoilers.
No, I can do this. No spoilers. I
Okay,
just have
thank
to
you,
give my
thank
review
you.
because I have to talk about this.
Yeah.
Because I'm at 64%.
You're almost there, buddy.
Oh, dude, it's so good.
Hurry up, Sam. I got to get my hands on this
I'm
game.
at negative 1%.
I'll just open with this. This is my game of the year. Hands down, this is
Over God of War?
yes.
Really?
I'll say that, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
What about Red Dead, dude?
Well,
It's
I
not
can't
out
tell you
yet.
yet. It's not out yet. I can just straight up tell you this is one of my favorite Spider-Man properties just overall. This is
Nice.
a fantastic retelling of the history of Spider-Man in a way. It's definitely like, I mean, the thing about Spider-Man, he's a generational character. I've mentioned this before, how every generation has their version of Spider-Man. You know, you have the classic spandex wearing or, like, the round nerdy glasses, suspenders, that kind of character. And then you have the modern day,
Right.
more millennial version with Tom Holland. This is a great retelling of everything. I think this is a great, beautiful origin story for a lot of within the Spider-Man world. I had so much fun with this game, and the story is so fucking good. This is like when it ended, when the credits started rolling, I felt the way I did when I walked out of Spider-Man 2 for the first time, where
You just were
I just
elated?
loved it.
Yeah.
I loved everything about it, and I'll openly admit I wept very slightly at the very end during some of the scenes because holy crap, this tugs on your heartstring.
This is that good, huh?
man.
This is
I'm
I
excited.
swear, this is such a beautiful telling of just
Yeah.
a lot of Spider-Man lore. There's some, I mean, very minor spoilers, but there are certain characters that make their appearance in this. Miles Morales is in this, and it does a great retelling of his origin, because obviously they can't do the whole Ultimate Verse where that universe exists and it's destroyed.
Right,
now.
and then they
So
combine
this-
together
so
and-
it's a great streamlined version of it, and it was just so good, man. Like I got towards the end, I started seeing a lot of the good callbacks to a lot of the old characters, and I faced. It's in the trailers. The Sinister Six are in this. I'm not going to tell you who's all in here, but those moments were so epic, man. My God, some of those boss fights were so good. So just Uncharted has nothing on us. I'll say that right
Really?
now.
My question is,
I love me some
what's the
Uncharted.
current suit are you using?
I've been rocking them all, dude. I don't know why. I'm very just like indecisive.
Like 10 minutes, I got to change.
I will. Like I'll do that. Like like I had the Homecoming suit on for a long time. I was rocking the Iron Spider. I was the Scarlet Spider outfit looks really good too. I unlocked the Spider-Man 2099, which looks sick.
Right.
This weird Ghost Rider version of Spider-Man.
saw that
too.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Weird.
it
I was rocking
interesting.
that for a while, so I've just been remixing them all in all.
Okay.
But the story arcs for the characters are so good in here, and the main boss, I'm not going to tell you who he is because if you didn't have seen any of it at all, you're not going to know who it is. And the build up to it is so good, and it's such a great payoff, and it's
Nice,
such an emotional
nice.
story arc
Yeah.
that it really works so well. And this game reminds me why I love Spider-Man as a character, because he's such a good guy who loves doing what he does, and he has to make the toughest decisions no matter what it
Oh,
takes.
yeah,
and
dude.
he
That
will
decision
always
sucks.
make the right decision no matter what, and no matter how much it hurts him, he will always fight on. And I love that. I love that in this character. And when I finished this game, like I was just so happy with it. Like the story was just so good. I really enjoyed it that much. And yeah, hands down, I would probably say this is almost damn near perfect. I'd give it I want to give it a 10, but there's a couple moments where it lulled just a very, very slight touch, but it doesn't compare to any of the great things that are in this game.
Can I be honest with you? I love the game, The only thing that kind of annoys you sometimes are the MJ missions.
There are some stealth missions. That's kind of what I was alluding to. They're a little
MJ
bit slower
missions,
paced.
huh?
Yeah. So
But
very minor spoiler. You get to play
I-
as her.
I was
But
gonna ask you, what's your current skill like for the 3 choices that you have? Like, what,
I
what do you
max them
have?
all out.
No, what were your options? Like, what do you have?
Oh, the special abilities. I have one where it's like extra experience. One where you like charge electricity on your body.
Okay.
I got some weird stuff going on there. But no, honestly, I hands down recommend this to anybody who has a remote interest in learning about
Oh,
Spider-Man.
definitely,
because
dude.
it's a great
You have to.
retelling
You
of
have to.
certain villains, kind of like arc, and it makes me excited for what else is to come.
Oh yeah, definitely. I hope there. I can tell there's more to come. The one thing I'm working on right now is the suit I have. Is you have the damaged Spider-Man suit, and you have the suit that's like fixed. So I'm using that one. Turns out that when your bar is full and you jump in the air, you tap L3 R3. He does the web spin and
Oh, yeah?
shoots everybody in the
Oh
center.
yeah, I have that
So
one.
I'm using that one.
Hmm.
And then my skill tree, it's all power up. So every time I use a gadget, it builds my focus. So I get more health and more special ability moves. So it's like
It sounds like
stacking.
Arkham Knight.
Yeah. I definitely stacked it up because I'm not a finesse player. I'm a tank player.
Just run in there and beat everybody up.
And that's what's cool about it. You can play it however you want, and the game is so fun like that. And it's a great, just like kind of escape too. Like the way GTA,
Yeah,
I
dude,
like
you
to
get
run
lost in
into
the scenery.
and just do
The
whatever.
scenery's
This
so
one
beautiful.
too. I messed around again with the camera mode, like just
Yeah.
making so many cover art and like just
He was
touching
showing
on
me
so
the
many-
camera. That looks
I want to
really
show you
nice.
some things, but it would spoil the ending for you. But like,
Yeah, yeah.
I've made so many good. Just I love it.
One shots.
It's so good. I honestly, I know you're
You know
saying
what
you're
I'm-
waiting for Black Friday.
What I
get
really
it.
want to see come out of this game is somebody actually make a comic book out of like in-game shots, because I know you have all those little options to like make comic book panels.
Yeah.
If somebody legit made a digital comic book out of that game, I would be impressed.
I'm pretty sure you can do it.
There's
It-
one
it
little
absolutely could be done.
Easter egg. I don't know. Have you heard of Game Over Gregory?
Huh.
That guy,
Oh, Greg Miller.
Greg Miller. So he asked his friends who developed the game to put him in there. They put him in there as shirtless Spider-Man.
Huh.
It's so brilliant. It's like
So brilliant.
so good.
Good cameo for them.
But I totally recommend you get it. I know you said you're waiting for Black Friday. I know you're kind of not happy with the DLC, but I'm actually excited for the DLC because now that I've done this, I want.
Well, yeah, you want a
more.
longer game,
And it's-
sure.
Well, no,
I'm-
it was this. I put at least 15 hours into this, maybe up 20 hours. I think it can range that long. You can get a lot out of this, and I'm still not even done with all the side quests. I still have a lot of those.
20
small
hours for main storyline.
things. 15 to 20 hours, depending on how you work it.
But the side quests.
there's a lot more to do on
That's
the
like
side.
a lot.
You were able to do that in a week, Felix?
I couldn't put
I'm
it down,
impressed.
dude. Like straight up between watching a lot of Godfather and then this, like this is kind of my breakaway from the mafia. That was great.
Gotta go beat up some of those goons.
Oh yeah, so good. So hands down, I say go get this.
It's on my list after I finish other games.
Yeah.
It's so
Nice.
fun.
Yeah,
If I can ever get back to
I'll
them.
pick it up when the DLC's for free,
There you go.
Good call,
which
good
means
call.
Black Friday. All right,
you
so
want to get it sooner.
moving on, we'll get into some movie news now.
Yes.
Let's start with the big thing of the week here, Sam.
What's that? What's that? What are you talking
Apparently,
about?
somebody's leaving the DCEU. I don't
No,
know, Henry
no,
Cavill.
no,
Holy
no,
shit!
no.
more Superman.
No, it was a
more Superman.
misunderstanding.
This is the terrible news. Terrible news.
The world of internet set fire when they heard this supposedly, but he's not leaving. What happened is his agent
What happened
Danny Garcia came out and explained that he's still Superman. Like the cape's still there. He's still Superman. What happened was the scheduling. Okay, they wanted to get him on Shazam as a cameo.
Sure.
You know, a little surprise scene for the
absolutely.
fans. But he's scheduled. You know, like he's booked up. He can't make it. So they explained that he can't make it. No big deal. Someone there in the universe heard about it and then
You're
just
like, oh my
twisted it.
god, he's quitting.
Yeah. So I went to go look at Twitter because I know it set fire. It was right down the middle, 50 good, 50 bad. So
As
Well,
far as the response, or
the response.
Okay.
So the good response were like, you know, I hope he comes back. Like there's a lot of good positive response, but the trolling and the negative was
Well,
just
that's the
beyond
internet.
crazy. Oh no, they got creative this time. They took all the pictures of Justice League or the group pictures, and they did the Thanos disappearing
Right.
for Batman and
I
Superman.
did see that one.
And then they were
I saw that.
dude,
was
that
great.
was so ridiculous. And they were already mentioning Michael B. Jordan to replace him. I'm like,
Right.
dude, calm down. Like when you guys troll something else. Like just calm down. You know, like there are
People were freaking out about that too. It was like, oh my goodness, this has gotten out of hand.
exactly gotten out of hand. My favorite thing out of that whole day was at the end of the day, Henry Cavill trolled everyone
Oh, I
back.
know.
That video of him holding his own action figure, like I was like, I love you even more, Henry Cavill.
So if
You're
you
the
haven't
man.
seen it, it's maybe 10 or 15 seconds.
Exactly.
It's just him standing toward the camera, and he kind of lifts the Superman action figure, right?
Yes.
And then he just kind of just lowers it down, and it's got like some kind of sappy music in the background, and it's really just like, what do you think he's talking about?
It just I found it funny as a fan of the DC universe, right? I mean, if you do your research, you'll find out, what's going on. But for everyone to jump to conclusion that quick, like it takes a different kind of people to sit there and wait for the bad news and then deliver
And then twist it.
Yeah. It's like they were waiting for
Yeah.
it, like they're sitting on a perch waiting for the bad news to drop. It's like, dude, whenever you get the story, you got to hear both sides first, and then form your own opinion about it. But for one day, for the internet to set fire of that magnitude,
Oh yeah, it blew
oh
up.
my god, IGN,
Well, this came out like a day or two after he announced that he was going to be in The Witcher for Netflix.
I loved it.
Right, which is great. I love that casting. And I read that had nothing to do with him bowing out of Shazam.
Nothing at all.
Right?
No.
So, in my opinion, Man of Steel is the best of the DCEU movies. And personally, I'm looking forward to a Man of Steel 2 from day one. For them not to move on to that, I would be pissed too if I was Henry. They keep pushing it back, not really, talking about it much. So, hey, you got to move on to other things. You got to move on to other things.
I think he's also doing fine, though. I mean, he just had Mission Impossible,
His career is going to be just fine.
which he did great in, and now he has
Right.
The Witcher with
Yeah.
Netflix,
Yeah.
and they have
Could be
unlimited.
amazing.
They have unlimited,
Yeah.
process of doing what they want to do. He'll be okay.
He's going to be totally fine. See, what I had heard originally was that this is more a contract dispute because like they said, there was supposed to be a cameo in Shazam. And then some other news that I heard also was that this would be his fourth appearance as Superman on film. And once you repeat a character in this genre, I think after your third or fourth time, you could get a substantial pay increase. So because it was supposed to be a smaller role, his agents were demanding that he gets paid accordingly. And
So you're saying that cameo role in Shazam would have bumped him up to
it would be
past
his
that
fourth
mark,
appearance
right?
on,
So then
on
they'd have to
screen.
pay
A
him
lot,
more
a
for
lot
Man
of
of
times when
Steel.
they sign these contracts, even small 2-minute appearances still count as an appearance in a film. When Tony
Right.
Stark appeared at the end of the Hulk
Or
at the
Logan.
post-credit scene, that still counts.
Or Logan in
Wolverine in First Class.
Yeah.
That still
Okay.
counts as an appearance on screen. So that's what I heard it was mostly about. And then, I think the Hollywood Reporter broke this, and then like a lot of major news outlets, reported on this. So there's still no positive confirmation, but there's obviously something happening if all these news outlets are drawn to this. So I'm just wondering, I want to know what's up. I wouldn't surprise me if WB doesn't know what the hell they're doing because they've been putting off Man of Steel for how long, and they've been misusing the character of Superman, in my opinion, over the past couple films.
DC's misusing everything.
Yeah, that's why I think it's a shame if they really let this happen and let him go, because I think he's a great Superman.
I agree.
He's a really good Superman.
I loved the end of Justice League when he was bright, colorful, cheesy Superman. Like I like that, and I was kind of hoping to see more of that. So it's a shame if they don't, run with that.
I like the fact that he's like slowpoke and the Flash gets mad. It's hilarious.
I hope they figure it out. They did say, his cape's still in the closet.
Yeah.
So, they can go back to the table and negotiate. Hopefully they can get back, to Man of Steel 2.
Trust me, they'll find a way.
If they even have a script for it, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
just get working on it, and I'm sure if they call him and say,
Hey, we
hey
got a
man,
script.
ready to get you on board, we've got this great script, I'm sure he would do it, and I'm sure they will pay him what they need to pay him, because you don't need to reboot this damn thing again and try to, we're going to start over. Remember the origin story? Like, no.
You remember what we
it's
did
just-
for the
that's-
comic books every 10 years?
Yeah, give us a Man of Steel 2
Yeah.
already, man. Why are we getting like 5 Joker movies and like all this other random shit?
Oh,
Like,
I
give
know.
us a Man of
Oh,
Steel.
Joker
Speaking of
movies.
Joker movie.
Well, also the last thing I'll say is that everybody was blaming the mustache issue.
That's
Not
kind
his
of
fault, though, man.
Yeah, that's the studio's fault, and
Yeah.
obviously it was the studio's fault that screwed up Justice League, which I think
Oh, yeah.
was the catalyst for this change. Is because that movie tanked.
Well, they did have an issue between Snyder and Whedon, right?
Right.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
fucking corporate bullshit.
Yeah, business stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the Joker. They put out a still of
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix, just as his little kind of like bum-looking character. His name's Arthur, I guess is his first name. I don't know. It looked kind of weird. He looked kind of bummy. Like,
He reminds me of Javier Bardem in No Country for Old Men.
okay, yeah.
I'm looking at it right now. It's like,
Oh boy.
He looks really he looks old, man. I'm not trying to point that part out, but
He looks like Joaquin Phoenix.
Exactly.
really weathered
Oh.
like Joaquin Phoenix. Like, I don't know. It's like him and Mel Gibson and Signs merged together somehow and came out with this.
I think I mentioned it on the text that he looks way too old to be in an origin story.
Right.
So we'll see how they take that. I'm not sure.
Well, I mean,
it looks kind of weird.
The only good thing I can say about it is at least it's just on an indie film budget, so can't get too
I don't
crazy.
know.
Can't
We'll
lose that much
see.
money.
Whenever these castings come out, everybody hates on them, and then the movie comes out, and most people change their
Hey,
mind. So we'll see. I don't know.
Worst case scenario, if the movie doesn't do well, they can just move it to DC Universe right away, like
Right.
exclusive on
There you
DC Universe.
Are we putting bets down on how quickly they decide to move it to a PG-13 to get a wider audience?
for sure
Oh,
about it.
no.
Ooh, I'll take that bet.
Oh, good segue though. Actually,
Seeing
as they just did that with Venom,
Oh.
it's rated PG-13 now instead of R. They, which I guess I heard the excuse was eventually if we want to put him with Spider-Man, we don't want it to be rated R, and that was their excuse for making it PG-13. I'm like, well, that's kind of looking way down the line in the future, and maybes and ifs. So I don't know. PG-13.
I mean, how can you're saying you couldn't fold Deadpool into a Marvel movie because
it's PG-13
he is rated R? Like that doesn't make any sense. It's just a character. Like, okay, so he's not going to say fuck 7 times.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
you can still put him in the movie.
You can still write
Like,
funny
it doesn't
lines
matter.
without fuck.
Yeah, so you're saying you
Right.
just need a little creative writing to fit them in there? Is that all it needs? It's like, I mean, it could totally work. That's such a bullshit excuse, honestly. I mean, I don't know. I mean, because there's exclusive titles for comics all the time where a character goes, does his own thing, goes crazy violent, then they come back and merge with other characters and they balance out. They can totally do that. I mean, Wolverine, he had plenty of appearances in X-Men, and then Logan came out, and that was totally different.
Totally dark.
And also, comic book wise, Civil War, the first time they came around, the following issue of Punisher was him going to the bars where all the villains are and shot them all to hell, killed them all.
Right.
And since it was too violent, the following week, they're all healed up. They're all being bruised. They're all seeing the doctor and stuff. I'm like, wow, good job.
Was
Good
that
job, guys.
Kingsman 2 where they just slapped a little gel pack on the dude's face where he got shot? He was healed.
I know you're so salty about that, bro. I know you're so salty about
Still haven't
that.
seen that.
Anyway, moving on.
Not worth your time.
Did anybody hear the new Eminem track for the fucking...
For the Venom movie? No.
No.
His new album that dropped, Kamikaze, out of nowhere. The last track is called Venom, like music from for the movie. I swear to God, that's what the track's name is, something
Interesting.
like that. It's weird.
Interesting.
I don't know. This is like not Eminem's best work. I'll just say that. It's, I don't know. He managed to rhyme Venom with like him somehow. Yeah, I don't know.
Wait, he rhymed Venom?
With him.
Yeah, it's got an M.
With him.
Him. I don't know.
Yeah, it
It's
works.
weird. I don't know. It's just like when I hear this, I don't think of what I've been seeing as far as promotion goes. So I don't know, but go check it out.
It just sounds like Venom's a fucking mess. I'm sorry, guys. I'll still kind of watch
I'm
it.
still gonna say it. I'm just cautiously optimistic.
Exactly. I think we all are.
It's like my Cowboys. I'm used to
Yeah,
this.
exactly. They're playing right now. We'll see what the score is when we get done here. All right, so moving on. Let's jump into Arrowverse. They had some major castings. They're
Yeah,
branching
fuck
out.
that shit. No, I'm sorry. Continue. I'm sorry. Continue.
No, Sam and I talked about this one. Anyway, so they just recently casted Ruby Rose for Batwoman, and then in this upcoming Arrowverse crossover.
Oh, you mean other character roster from Batman?
Yeah,
that
it's
is
more
so
Batman stuff.
weird.
I'm getting there. Hold on, I'm getting there. They just
One thing at
casted Elizabeth Tulloch from Grimm as the new Lois Lane. So they're gonna bring in more for the crappy Superman.
You guys
they have.
aren't gonna like it because her dead face is horrible. Like she has just as dead face she does.
Is she like a Kristen Stewart?
worse?
Worse. Wow.
I don't think that's possible.
I don't know. She looked.
You never seen Grimm?
Bagging on
She
people
looked the part.
today. We are
In
angry.
Grimm, she was good as like the wife character, but then when they changed her up, she became an assassin, right? But she's like this dead face where there's no emotion, and you're just
They're like, it doesn't play well into that character.
you're like, nah, I'm good.
All right. Well, if you like that one, you'll love this one. We got Cassandra Jean Amell, which is Robbie and Steven. Thank you. Stephen Amell's sister. She got hired to play Nora Freeze, another one of Batman's rogues gallery. So they get to keep stealing off of Batman. I'm not sure how they're going to bring in Mr. Freeze to this since they
This is in
haven't.
the Arrowverse?
Since he's
Yeah,
in
this is in the
Gotham.
Arrowverse.
Well,
Yeah.
Mr. Fries is in
Fries,
Gotham.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's Mr. Freeze in Gotham, but
Right, but not in the Arrowverse. So,
Well,
so now they
Nor's
got
his wife.
yeah. So now they're going to have to tie in some other characters that are in
What
Batman's
is
universe
up
into this
with
universe.
the TV universe beating around the Batman bush?
Can I?
A lot.
Like, seriously.
Wink, wink. Remember Batman?
So where do we just end Arrow? Can we just end it? Like, just bring back Deathstroke and I'm cool.
Maybe he could just take them all out.
I thought he was supposed to come back, weren't they?
Honestly, just combine all 4 shows
Seriously.
and just make one giant, call it fucking Arrowverse. I
Seriously.
don't care. Just stop with the other, like, because every other episode is, Monster of the Week. And so these are the good ones, and we get to see those characters. But at what point do they stop letting Berlanti play with these characters? Like, dude, no, like, stop. Like, we want to use them in other things. And so we don't need this anymore. Like, stay with Flash and Flash's storylines. The crossover's got to stop because you're trying to keep up in the ante until you do what? Show Batman in the show too? Because they've done Superman on Supergirl, right?
Yep.
And it's a matter of time. But
They're bringing him in for this crossover event too, with Lois Lane. So
The Unibrow?
Unibrow Man.
Yeah. Excited for Unibrow. Sorry, guys.
and how many more animals are we gonna get on these shows? My God.
I know.
The only
That's a lot
thing
of
I care
animals.
for, honestly, the only thing I care for is Legends of Tomorrow because it's actually a funny show, and they play into that. And Constantine's in it, so that's kind
Oh,
of
is
cool.
he still there?
Yeah, but everything else.
I still watch Flash, not like week by
Right.
week, but I'll binge it when it gets
Yeah.
on the Netflix and still kind of keep going with it.
I think that's the way to do it. They have a lot of filler episodes now, so to catch the good ones, you kind of
mean
have to
like
stream
the
it.
whole fucking thing's a filler?
Pretty much.
Like out of 26, 20,
Except the crossover.
Except the
yeah.
crossover. yeah.
out of 26
the only thing I'm gonna
episodes, you only
watch.
get like 5
Yeah,
good
good
episodes.
ones. Yeah.
And those are probably 4 of them by Kevin Smith. Yeah, that's my opinion.
Well, the Arrowverse crossover events are the only ones that I'm really interested in, so I guess they got to load those up.
Well, they
Get some
usually
viewers.
they usually do that around like the holiday season, so they can get the ratings. I think sometimes. Oy vey.
So moving on from the Arrowverse to The Walking Dead, I heard they are
Another
planning
decade.
another decade, 10 more years of The Walking Dead.
Stop.
And that's after they get rid of both of their leads, Lauren Cohen and Rick.
The show's really
Andrew.
living up to its name.
Yeah, it's dying out, and the audience is dying out, and I don't know where they're planning to go with these 10 more years since the comic book. They've caught up to the comic book now, so
I think they're passing it at this point.
they're pretty
almost.
close.
little spoilers on Fear the Walking Dead. They're trying to rush it to where
to get to the point where they were
Morgan's trying to get back to the compound at the folks.
trying to get closer to that initial.
It was
Walking Dead
weird
season.
because like the way they initiated it was Morgan had a weird dream. His spider senses went off, and he's like, "I gotta get back to Rick. I gotta get back to him." So like throughout like the next 2 episodes, he's like, "Can I borrow your truck? Can I borrow your car? I need to get back to my friends up in the hill." I was like, "Nah, I'm good."
Does Morgan talk
I
that
remember
way?
him being that
Morgan
hillbilly.
has a southern accent.
I don't know. He gets one today.
Yeah,
It was bad.
That was more Daryl and what was his brother? Merle.
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 So 10 years, are they
Little
gonna
Michael
they're banking
Rooker.
on Daryl being the lead guy, right? Because
They're also saying they're gonna introduce the Whisperers.
right,
Yeah.
right. They have that's kind of where they're getting to the comic book nowadays is with the Whisperers, and they got Alpha coming in. One
I
of
think
the,
they actually cast her. Wasn't it the girl from Minority Report? One of the bald chicks?
it could be.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I think
The
so.
problem we're running into that we discussed about 3 to 4 years ago is that we're running into the saturated market. Like right now, currently, there's a lot of shows available, but not a lot of them are good. And I feel like it's just gonna get worse because my favorite property was Preacher. I fell out. I watched it and
It's
I'm
not
like,
good.
I can't do this. You've took my favorite graphic novel I've read, and you just took a fat shit because AMC gave you a big paycheck. The next one coming up, The Boys.
The boys by
I'm
the same
really-
group, man. It's by the same group.
I'm really
I'm a little
freaking
nervous.
worried. Exactly, because not only are they not on AMC, but they're going to be on shit. I think either Amazon or Hulu, one of the
Okay.
exclusives. And I'm like, man, please don't shit on this one
well,
too.
maybe that'll be better not on cable TV.
I really hope. I'm not trying to be a bummer, but I'm just saying.
No, I'm with you.
that
Preacher,
there's too much.
they went way off left field in Preacher, and they started, diving into characters we didn't need to dive
Yeah.
into. And yeah, I fell off.
It makes me scared now because like, what happens if they purchase Invincible or if they purchase Saga, and they just
right. Don't
mess it up?
I don't think anyone can make Saga.
That's probably
maybe
true.
Showtime or HBO. But that's a lot of
Maybe
work.
HBO.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'd love to see that.
Would you watch a live action saga?
I don't know if I can handle
But that
a whole
includes
live-action
everything.
saga.
That includes everything.
Right.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if I could handle that. Did you guys ever watch Heavy Metal, that old 90s animated thing?
Yes,
Yep.
It's
sir.
kind of,
Yeah.
it's kind of what I picture. Just a bunch of weird acid trip of an animation.
Totally.
Yes, I enjoyed it a lot.
Hey, do you guys have the Preacher books?
I do.
I need to borrow those.
I
off
can get
you.
those for you.
I'd love to read those. Thank you, sir.
Sweet. All right, moving on. Let's get into the Toronto Film Festival coming up. Ganya, you got some info on that. What's up?
Yeah, I was getting excited for award season, so this kind of kicks it off. There were some good films. Generally speaking, whoever the audience award winner is for the Toronto Film Festival usually kind of guarantees an Oscar nod for Best Picture. Okay. So it's like, oh, okay, cool. Let's dig in and see what's
coming,
what there is. And yeah, last year the winner was 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri. So and that was one of my favorites for the year. So there's the audience award winner this year was a film called Green Book, which I had zero idea about until I pulled it up and was like, oh man, this sounds kind of interesting. First off, it's directed by Peter Farrelly of, yes, the Farrelly brothers. So surprising there that this is a drama. Sure. Viggo Mortensen plays this Italian, American guy who drives around a classical pianist played by Mahershala Ali, the guy from Moonlight. And
okay, yeah.
He was on Luke Cage.
Yeah, was,
okay.
So, Olivia Spencer, Linda Cardellini's in it. But yeah, that one. And
I love Viggo.
So yeah, be on the lookout for that. Viggo still doing his awards thing. I did not check out his last one that he was nominated for an Oscar, but the dude knows how to pick movies, and I love Mahershala Ali. So hard name to say, but
but good actor.
Good actor.
He's great.
Yeah. The runners-up were there's a film called If Beale Street Could Talk, it was directed by Barry Jenkins, who also did Moonlight, which was nominated last year. And then Alfonso Cuarón,
oh nice,
who's been nominated a bunch of times. He got third place for a black and white film he made called Roma, which I've heard mixed things on. It sounds like it's one of those movies that's going to be loved by everybody, but you're just going to kind of wonder, I don't know. So
a lot of Oscar bait.
Yeah, surprising. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, a lot of Oscar bait from those directors.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, those names definitely going to be that way. Surprising, the Bradley Cooper one, the remake of A Star Is Born, did not get in the top 3, and everyone was thinking that was going to be
really
kind of leading the awards season.
We had just saw a trailer for that. And we were just talking about that actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, people said they loved it and got rave reviews, but it didn't get the top 3. So I was like, that's kind of surprising. Yeah. But I didn't know it was a remake. Did you guys know that this was when I saw the preview, I was like, oh, this looks awesome.
Yeah.
Never heard that before. And it was a Barbra Streisand 70s movie that I was going to ask you guys. So this is on my list of places. Obviously, I would like to go. I've never been to Toronto, so I'd like to get there for a film fest. But what would be a film fest that you'd like to visit most?
Ooh,
that is a good question.
Way to catch us off guard.
What film festival? The Bend Film Festival. That's the one I want.
I would definitely want
Hey, there you go.
Tribeca.
Tribeca?
Tribeca seems like a pretty cool one. Seriously.
There's one that just happened too. Was it Tess? I think that just happened about a week ago. Maybe I'm wrong.
Is that an indie film?
I think so. It's like an indie film fest.
Cons is on my list. I mean, Cons. I don't know how you say it.
Oh, the Cans?
I want to go to France.
The Cans Film Festival.
I want to go party with all the rich people on their boats.
Right? It looks so ridiculous.
Boats are red carpet on a yacht.
Everyone's changing their outfits 4 times a day so they can keep up with the group and look so good. It's nuts.
Very fancy.
Yeah.
Nothing like partying.
And I got a couple other award season ones I think that might get some nominations. I was going to ask you guys, have you seen the trailer for White Boy Rick with Matthew McConaughey?
Yes, saw that trailer. Looks very interesting. Seriously.
Yeah, he lost a lot of weight
It
for
looks
that
fun.
one. Back to his Dallas
I love
Buyers
that guy.
Club weight right there.
You got that. Got First Man with Ryan Gosling coming out, and then
Of course.
Bad Times at the El Royale, which has
That
an
I
all-star
wanna
cast.
see,
So I don't
bro.
know. Yeah, right.
Oh, looks so good.
Don't know if it's gonna get any nods, but maybe a writing nod. But it looks like a really well done film. So maybe some cinematography or something.
True
like
enough.
that.
Definitely.
Some visual categories.
Maybe it's another version of Smoking Aces. The way it looks, the way it's gonna play out.
Oh,
The shooting.
Good call.
Mhm.
Good call. A little less shenanigans.
True.
All right. Anything
yeah.
else to say on the Toronto Film Festival?
Negative.
What about the
Go
Bend Film Festival? When's that coming up?
Canada. We are T-minus 4 weeks from last Thursday. So yeah,
Coming up quick.
It's lining up pretty good. We got a feature from Paul Lieberstein, who played Toby on The Office. It's his directorial debut, and he's supposed to be there. So we're looking forward to checking out his film. It's called The Song of Back and Neck. It's about a guy who's got like chronic back and neck problems, but it's this weird comedy. So should be fun.
A lot of interesting movies.
That and a couple other films. Oh yeah, I got another Jim Gaffigan comedy that's coming out. But yeah, October 11th,
Sweet,
man.
Bro.
Time to party in Bend. Time to go to Ben's after parties. Not nearly as wild as our Vegas ones, but
Jim Gaff.
still fun nonetheless.
Sign me up, man, with Jim Gaffigan. Fucking love that guy.
Oh, yeah.
His stand-up's so hilarious. Like, his comedy's so good. I don't know if you guys ever seen any of his stand-up?
Mm-hmm.
Where he talks about
Yeah.
Hot Pockets.
He's just got the face that you want to laugh, like when you see him. You make me smile, man.
All right, guys, moving on. We got a new segment this week. It's called This Week in Film History with Chris Felix.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah.
Totally
This-
fine with that one.
We need a
This
theme
week
song
in
for it.
Totally need a
history.
jingle or something, right?
Yeah, I guess I'll work something out. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it'd be kind of fun, just because we're always just trying to figure out what else is happening, what else is new. Let's kind of look back on what happened in this week in particular. So
Yeah.
I kind of just actually went through this week, starting today, September 16th. We are recording on a Sunday. You'll hear this on Tuesday, the 18th. I just kind of went about and just looked up those dates, what happened in the past, and I found a lot of random, cool little tidbits of stuff all across entertainment media. So let's
Nice.
start with today, September 16th. So I'm just going to kind of jump all over dates. So I mentioned it earlier, 1993, Frasier premieres on NBC. Nobody saw it, but hey, fun fact, that happened.
Well, one of the most watched TV shows of all time that none of us watched.
Yeah.
Real fun fact, 1983, Arnold Schwarzenegger became a U.S. citizen on this day.
Nice.
That's pretty important.
Mm-hmm.
Pumping
Oh,
iron.
Arnold.
The Terminator.
In 1997, Steve Jobs was announced as the interim CEO of Apple. So
On
big
this day
monumental
also,
time
on
right there.
Sunday.
On this day. This is on the 16th. Yeah. So, and then we also had Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, released in 2008. And comic book, 1981, Electra made her debut in Daredevil, number 168. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, that all happened today. But tomorrow, it wasn't as much. Mission Impossible made its debut in 1967 on CBS, and MASH premiered on NBC in 1972.
I actually watched MASH.
The OG
That was
stuff.
good.
Yeah.
I could never
I
get
enjoyed
into
it.
that. It just whenever that came on, that just made me think it's too late. I need to go to sleep.
Totally.
It's past my bedtime. Hurry, run. Yeah.
That's
Totally.
It's like all the cartoons are officially done. I need to go to bed. But yeah, so that happened. But on September 18th, the day you're hearing this for the very first time, 1964, The Addams Family debuted on ABC. In 1983, Kiss made their first public appearance with no makeup on MTV. Gross. And in 1998, Rush Hour was released, directed by Brett Ratner. That piece of shit, but great movie. Yeah, so-
Brett Ratner. There
Wait,
you
what
go.
movie?
Awesome
And it
movie.
spawned,
Horrible
what, 3
person.
or 4 of those?
Oh,
Mhm,
Rush
first
Hour.
Rush Hour. I only saw the first 2. I don't think I ever saw the third one. Was there more than that?
There was a third, and there's talks of a fourth one still coming
Third one in France.
For real?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
just
I
stop.
was kidding.
Stop.
up. Milking the movie.
Milking it. Anyways, on September 19th of this week, 1941, Aquaman and the Green Arrow both made their comic book debut in More Fun Comics number 73.
In the same issue?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And in 1952, The Adventures of Superman starring George Reeves premiered on TV.
Nice.
So there you go.
Classic.
Nice.
A lot of comic book stuff on that day. Along with 1990, Goodfellas was released starring Ray Liotta, De Niro, and directed by Robert Scorsese. So
Still Scorsese's best.
Yes, Goodfellas is a good movie.
yeah, so September 19th, fun stuff. September 20th, not much other than Gears of War 3 was released on a 360.
Whoa. That's a big day for me. Gears of War 3.
2011. It's a great day.
It was a good sequel.
Oh, yeah, it was fantastic. But what else happened? And then on September 21st of this week, 1937, J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit was published in London.
Nice.
And also in
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was probably one of the first books I read.
That's a good one.
yeah, dude.
That's a
1970.
thick-ass book.
Oh, in honor of football, 1970, Monday Night Football made its premiere on ABC with the Browns beating the Jets 31-21.
I'm sorry, do you say the
The
Browns
last time the
won?
Browns won.
Yeah, the last time the Browns won a game was in 1970. Poor Browns.
Oh, me and Gagne.
Oh, it's okay. They'll make it one day.
They tied.
But we also had in 1982, the New Mutants made their debut in Marvel graphic novel number 4. And in 2004, LucasArts released Star Wars Battlefront for the PlayStation 2 and Xbox. So yeah, all happened on the 21st.
Nice.
On the 22nd, we had a lot of cool TV stuff that happened. So on September 22nd, 1976, Charlie's Angels made its debut. 1989, Baywatch made its debut. 1994, Friends debuted. 1999, The West Wing premiered. 2004, Lost premiered.
Oh, God.
Yeah, 2009, NCIS LA starring LL Cool J and Chris O'Donnell premiered. So,
What's Friends
That
and
could have
West
been
Wing?
omitted.
all right, I just wanted that just because it's
Well,
Cool J.
I take it that this was the start
is
of
like
like the the fall season. So
Yeah.
all these things premiered,
Totally.
right? So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then a couple of video games that I had to point out. Indigo Prophecy was released. That was developed by Quantic Dream. They're the guys that did Heavy Rain.
Sure.
I forgot what the other one was, but it had Ellen Page in it.
Two Souls.
Beyond Two Souls. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was the first game.
Indigo
that came
Prophecy,
out.
that was the first of the.
Yeah, that's what it was
types
known
of
in
those.
America, but it was called Fahrenheit in like every other country for some
really?
reason. But yeah, it was a pretty cool game to check out. And then also in 2009, Halo 3 ODST dropped on the 360.
Terrible.
So, oh no, man, I loved it. You don't like it?
I don't know. I really wasn't into Halo unless it was multiplayer. And
Oh yeah, I
ODST
forgot.
was like,
the Microsoft hater over here. I'm sorry.
yeah. I don't know.
Anyways,
Anyway.
yeah,
Hey, no need for violence, guys. It's video games. It's all good. It's all good.
yeah. So those are the random things I found about history for
Nice.
this week. So
I dig it.
yeah,
Good
fun
stuff.
I'll find a way to streamline that in the future. I was just throwing together random notes and stuff. There's a lot of other things that happened that I just kind of skipped over.
Sure. A lot of stuff in history.
Lots of birthdays, lots of like awards and stuff. There's like Breaking Bad awards and Game of Thrones awards that happened throughout the week also.
Oh, dude, when's that award for all like the shitty?
The Razzies.
Yeah, the Razzies.
It usually takes place like the week of the Oscars,
Right.
the week before, something
Yeah,
like
somewhere
that.
close.
we need the
Yeah, but
Razzies
we might have
this
to cover the
Do
Razzies.
live coverage of the Razzies.
That
Yes.
was cool. Learned a lot of cool stuff. A lot of
random
TV
stuff.
shows premiering around now.
I wasn't really sure what I could expect, but I started looking stuff up and like, wow, a lot of
I
random cool
learned
stuff.
that Adam doesn't like Halo ODTS.
ODST.
ODST. But
Orbital
yes.
Drop Shock Trooper.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Halo's good shit, man. You're missing out.
I'm not saying I didn't play
Well,
it.
except for the top view ones that were the minifigures.
Oh, those are fun. The
Like
talking about
StarCraft?
Halo Wars,
Yeah.
yeah, StarCraftish. I like them.
Those are okay.
Anyways,
Well, I
yeah,
dig it.
there you go.
Very good.
Your week in nerd news. Your week in history.
All right, so moving on from history lessons to our current movie on our AFI Top 100 list. We continued with The Godfather Part 2, which was a good 3.5-hour movie.
Oh,
Crap.
so long.
Complete with intermission.
Complete with intermission, absolutely.
Yeah, it's called the pause button. I'll be back.
I gotta sit.
No, legit title screen that says
No,
intermission.
seriously, I watched this with my friend, and we did it over 2 days, and we actually paused during the intermission. So thank God that was there.
I watched this over the course of 2 days. I'll just say that because, as you guys know, I had to do my homework. I had to watch the first Godfather.
Right.
That was already like 3 hours long. That was great, but holy crap! All right, let's try Godfather 2. Holy shit, it's 3.5 hours. What the hell? It got even longer.
Yeah, for sure.
they're-
Spent a few hours doing that, huh?
Yeah, great movies to say the least, but we'll get there.
Totally. I'll just give you a little summary here. This was the continued saga of the Corleone crime family. This movie tells the story of a young Vito Corleone and how he starts the family, and actually how he gets the name, which was from the city he was born in, along with how Michael, his son, expands the business to Las Vegas, Hollywood, and Cuba. So we have these two epic performances. We got Al Pacino and you got Robert De Niro, who I actually didn't know was in this movie, who plays the young Vito. And they, cement themselves as icons of the genre here, I believe, and moving on from here, those two are basically together in any movie that's
Any mob
Gangster
related movie
related,
or
yeah.
gangster crime related movie. Yeah.
And then, of course, you have Coppola, who, did this masterful job of entwining these two stories. And it's obviously 3.5 hours long. What'd you guys think? It's number 32 on our list. Rave reviews everywhere you're looking at. What'd you guys give it?
For me, watching it fresh, I enjoyed the casting. I enjoyed the direction they were going. But I felt the original magic is back in number one. I know it sounds kind of weird, but I don't know, man. I felt like there's more magic in number one, but I could be biased because Brando, because he was in it.
Sure.
For me, anyways. I don't know how you guys felt about it for number two.
So what'd you give it?
Oh, rating wise,
Yeah.
it was a little bit lengthy, but I still enjoyed it. So I'd probably want to give it a good solid 8. Fair enough.
Yep.
Okay.
Still a fantastic sequel.
Yeah.
What'd you think, Gagne?
I'm with Sam. I think the first one's so iconic that this one's kind of not trying to get to that level, but I didn't like the back and forth, honestly. I thought it was kind of funny when De Niro starts trying to channel Brando and talk the way Brando did. It's like, hey man, by the way, Brando did the weird voice thing, so we kind of need you to do the weird voice thing too to kind of make it make sense. But The movie's fine. It's great. It's just it's so much. There's a lot that I could have left without and felt like it would have been a
tighter movie.
rounded movie if it didn't needed to be 3.5 hours. Like, how about 2.5? Like, and cut just little things here and there that I didn't. There's not those, just iconic moments from the first one that I was hoping for in the second one. I forgot, and it's funny because I feel like a lot of people think that the second one's even better.
Yeah, from what I read online, the reviews for the second one are all, this one puts the first one out of, it's the best sequel ever, and all.
And I disagree. Yeah, I think that the first one's just like still a masterpiece, and I would say is a 9, where this one to me was like a 7.5. Like, it was a little too long, and I was kind of bored at sometimes. Like, kind of like, well, I don't know. I guess it's fine. It's The Godfather, and there's great actors and there's great performances, but the story just didn't keep me moving.
How about you, Felix?
Oh, what's your score? 7?
7.5.
Okay, that's pretty fair. Not bad.
Cool. Well, I enjoyed it. So I had to watch both because I missed Godfather last week. So real quick, I'll say on the first Godfather, yeah, this is as great as they say. This is very much like a showcase for actors. There's some phenomenal just back and forth and acting
the casting
going on
is
here.
crazy, right?
I forgot
In the
how many
first
people
one?
are in this. I mean, I forgot Dan Keaton was in here, James Caan was in here, Robert Duvall. There's so many good moments in here. I loved it. There's great iconic moments in here. I forgot like how graphic it is too as far as violence goes, so this had to be extremely shocking for the time that it came out, but I really loved it. I would give the first one a 9. So moving on to the second one, I enjoyed it. It was still really good, but again, like you guys are saying, it kind of drags a bit. It's a patient movie. It very much like kind of takes its time, and in
You
a way,
waiting for payoffs?
well, I mean, I kind of feel like it's a way of immersing yourself into the movie. Life isn't always exciting. There's not explosions every 5 minutes. There's a lot of slow-paced drama, a lot of conversation that happens, and I feel like that's what we're kind of submersed in. And for that, I enjoyed it. But again, unless you're really, really, like in there, you might kind of drift a little bit. And there's a couple times I kind of felt myself just, maybe kind of drifting away a little bit. But overall, I enjoyed it. I think I kind of enjoyed the flashbacks a bit more just because I like seeing a young De Niro channel Brando in that sense. So that was kind of fun to see. But again, Pacino is just phenomenal. And like, I just forget how intimidating of a persona he can really put on with his calm delivery of some lines. I mean, again, I kind of feel that's more in the first movie, like when they first, I forget the character's name that they execute, but when he's like, you don't betray family, just that simple delivery is just like sends chills down your spine, and like he has such a great way of channeling that calm rage and then really just throwing it out there too when he explodes.
Yes,
so like
you're right.
it's a great showcase of Pacino's range, and I think he did a phenomenal job. And he had the iconic scene with him and Frito, you broke my heart, like that's still a great standout moment because you see the end of Frito coming at that point.
It's
like,
over.
no matter what, it's his
over.
downfall eventually. So overall, I really enjoyed it. Again, like I said, this is a great actor showcase to really show their chops. Probably not the most thrilling movie of all time, but it's a great story that it is told, and I really enjoyed the story of the Corleones. And I love the contrast of the rise of Vito, starting the family to
And the fall of Michael,
pretty much the fall of
basically.
Michael.
Yeah.
Like once it kind of comes under his watch, it's sort of like it sort of signals the end for the Corleones, with the betrayal within family and whatnot. So it's great. I think this has definitely cemented itself in history. But that being said, I still kind of feel the first one is more, up my alley.
Iconic.
I think so. I think they're both iconic in their own sense, but for me personally, I feel like I might have enjoyed the first one a bit more.
Yeah.
But these are still very fresh, and like I said, I kind of almost watched them back to back, and that is a lot of gangsters to take in.
That's a lot of Corleone.
There's a lot of it's a lot of gore guns and cannoli. There's
A lot of cannolis.
yeah. There's a video game called that, but yeah.
So what would you give it?
Well, actually, you have to rate both, right?
Yeah. Well, Godfather 1, I would say that's a 9.
Okay.
2, I was kind of leaning more towards an 8.
Okay.
But both very good in their own sense. But coming off the first one, I feel like the first one stood out to me more, or
Stronger?
there's more scenes that stick with me
Yeah,
from that first
yeah.
movie. So
Bigger impact.
I would say so, yeah. But both are great.
Gotcha.
I mean, they're both definitely something to watch.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you. It's quite a long movie. You probably could have cut it down a half hour. A lot of exposition. Like you said, the scene with him and Fredo, that's probably the only scene I knew from this movie going in. And Al Pacino does not disappoint.
No.
He has that quiet rage, and he's
The
very forceful.
aggressiveness when he grabbed Alfredo's head.
I
It
know.
was like,
You can really tell the passion went into that scene.
yeah.
But also a couple of things I wanted to note was I felt like this was more family drama and less of the violence of what they
Okay.
what they
yeah,
do.
Yeah, you're right. I see it.
And in the end, I think it has just a kind of a strange ending in that he gets questioned by the government, right? And they're trying to get more into his family details, and he refuses to give it up. And then the last scene of the movie, which is very quick, but it's just a scene of Michael sitting in kind of an empty room, kind of looks like it could be a prison yard, just by himself with this long face on, no family around him, and that's just where that movie, splits, goes to black screen. So it kind of, it shows from the beginning, the fall of him and how he loses his entire family, which is basically all he wanted in the movie was just to, keep his family together and push forward. And then he ends up with nothing. Yeah. I'm kind of curious to see where they took it in the third movie, which came out almost 15 to 20 years after this one.
1990, I think.
Yeah, 1990. Yeah. This was 1974, and obviously it's not connected with the first two as much as as far as like
it just, I know it got shat on a lot when it came out, but it's supposed to, I guess, wrap it up. But I guess even Coppola didn't want to do this when it was first pitched to him, but I forget exactly what the logistics were, but he kind of just ended up doing it, sort of not really wanting to.
Yeah, I feel like maybe they were trying to milk it years later, coming back to a property they thought they could, move forward with, but who knows?
I'm sure.
Yeah, and I've seen the third one, and it's a lot more of the continuation of the second, of where just it's a lot of family drama and not so much as the pizzazz of the mafia and that the first one is, and so it's just a lot more of that family drama where it's like, I've had it. I got my fill in the second one.
Mm-hmm. They lost the gangster drama and went more toward the familial drama, which was fine. I mean, it's just could have been cut down a little bit, I think. I think I'm with you guys. I think I gave the first one an 8, so I'm gonna give this one a 7.5. Just a little bit less forceful, I think, than the first one, but still a great movie. Check it out. It's a long one, but definitely worth watching. Yeah.
Take an afternoon.
It's number 30.
It's a 2-dayer.
Yeah, definitely a 2-dayer. It's number 32 on the list. It's there for a reason. Still a great movie. Definitely check it out.
Yeah, you can definitely see a lot of the influence it's had, like in every gangster movie. You can definitely draw parallels from
some amazing performances.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
I think they, like you mentioned, Robert Duvall and all those guys, they kind of did away with that part of the family and them in Hollywood and Vegas, and they focused more on Cuba. And I think they lost out on some of that, some of the first.
Yeah, I think that's why I was drawn to De Niro's story more, just because it was the developing of that family and the networking and just seeing, just how the mob kind of runs itself. Yeah, when you kind of involve the government in politics and all that stuff, it's just not really my thing, I guess. I don't know. Still good. Like I said, definitely check it out.
For sure.
So what do we have coming up for this week then?
I wanted to put out there Lawrence of Arabia, only because I recently bought it and I've been wanting to watch it for a while.
Okay.
Why not?
Yeah. So
I like it. I've never seen it.
Yeah, I think it's up there, top 10. So it should be one of those great classics. So let's do that one.
Now, funny thing I got to mention real quick too. Between Godfather films, I stopped to watch a little bit of Iron Fist. Holy shit, the quality in acting that dips after watching The Godfather into this is like astounding.
Oh god!
Like,
wow! You can't
I'm not trying to compare them, but
contrast.
I just wanted to take a break and I watched this. And I'm like, oh my god, this is like fucking amateur hour watching this shit right here. And then I went to Godfather 2, so it was nice. But that being said, Iron Fist 2, me being the biggest Iron Fist hater of season 1, this one ain't bad. It's not bad.
I've heard it's a little better.
But it's only a little better, not a lot better.
Does he put on the costume?
He actually has a mask in the second one, so it's.
Does he have the full costume? I
haven't gotten there yet. But another positive note: it's only 10 episodes. It's not 13 episodes like every other season. So it's a quicker.
Another side note that I just thought of: I finished Jack Ryan on Amazon.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
awesome.
So good, right? Yeah. Oh my god, Oh wait, who else here has watched Jack Ryan?
I only watched like the first episode, but
I have not watched it yet.
Okay, never mind.
I just finished.
It's pretty good.
The last
reminds me a lot of
so
24.
Yes,
a lot shorter though. It's only 8 episodes.
Yeah, but just the writing and like the intellectual look that Jack Ryan has to dive into and actually think about the psyche of what the other guy's doing and trying to like place himself there to be in the moment.
What I really liked about it was they went to the bad guy's point of view.
Yeah.
And they try to play him out as, a normal guy that had a job that just had a shit day, and then it all went downhill from there. So they play it out to where even the bad guy thinks he's the hero of his own story.
They try to have you empathize with him, try to understand his situation.
His point of view,
and
his kids and his family life.
Yeah.
And
some of the scenes were understandable. Some of the scenes were so understandable about him, like the whole little situation with his shoes or his name, and you're like, all right, that's understandable. People are judgmental. But man, just the delivery, the acting, and everything, it's so good.
Yeah,
guys.
really good. The one negative I and this is nitpicking, I couldn't stand Krasinski's little puppy dog face. About 5 episodes in, he literally has the same face the entire episode, and like he's concerned or he's gonna cry or same face. I don't know. It just got to me.
Fair
You got
enough.
enough of that
Fair
out
enough.
of A Quiet
Right.
Place. You didn't need
Totally,
it anymore.
totally. But decent.
There's got to be some memes on the
Oh,
internet for that.
So, weird question. Can I share with you guys? I know we didn't talk about this, but can I share with you guys a weird rabbit hole I fell into?
Okay, please.
Okay, so this week, thank you to Flex, I watched Infinity War for the 18th time,
Okay.
Hell yeah.
and
Actual 18th? Really?
probably 20, to be fair.
Good Lord.
But I was watching it, right, and I was curious. So, I hopped on IMDb, see what's going on with the Avengers, the next one coming up. Turns out, so Kevin Feige, or Fahey, he's a fan of the Trek world. He's a Trekkie.
Okay.
He told the the news outlet that the inspiration for the next Avengers is based on Star Trek: The Next Generation, season 7 or 8, the final episode called "All Good Things," which is all good things come to an end, right?
Okay.
So you read the synopsis of this episode, and we have the plot of Avengers 4 that no one else is looking. Like, he literally gave us the plot. Because in this film, or in this episode, the very last episode of Star Trek, Picard's time traveling. So he's time traveling in the past and in the future, but he's also dealing with the present all at like one go.
Is this the one with the flute?
No, this is like the one where Data actually has his own place. What's his name? Has his own eyes back.
Geordi.
Yeah, Geordi can see.
So they're using
yeah,
they're using the
okay.
script from this one episode as like the basis for their script for
It's
Infinity War?
inspiration.
Okay.
It's
Right.
It's inspiration for what's going to go on in the new Avengers movie.
Hey, all good things coming to an end. That's
Exactly,
key, right?
Exactly. So I spent 2 hours researching, which is retarded. I should have never done this.
Down the rabbit hole.
But IMDb, I'm reading the synopsis and all the little twerks that will happen in the episode, and I realized, so it's Picard traveling. So we just got to figure out who's going to be the Picard of the Avengers group. And then the one consistent of every time Picard time travels is Worf, Data, and Geordi from time to time. Because I saw...
Oh, it's easy. Picard's Stark, and then you got the rest of the original Avengers as the other characters.
Well, here's the thing,
Totally.
though. I noticed that the set photos for New Avengers, it's Ant-Man with the current Tony Stark from Infinity Wars talking to Captain America, but from the first Avengers movie.
Yeah.
I did see that picture of him clean shaven.
So I
So
think there'll
maybe
be
there's some time travel in this
That's what
one.
I'm saying. I think this one's going to definitely involve some time traveling for the New Avengers. I don't know how far it goes, but I think there'll be a collective situation where they all time travel to prep the whole group to get ready for Thanos.
Okay. Maybe
But-
back to the 90s.
Yeah.
That's my theory. That's my theory. But that's what I do at 4 a.m.
Well, with that, I think it
That's
would
what I
be
do at 4 in the morning.
it would be Ant-Man and Tony Stark that go back in time, because I think
Yeah,
it has to
them
do with
too.
Something to do with the quantum realm, yeah.
because Tony hasn't really dabbled into that part of science. So
Sure.
wait till he gets his hands on it. And plus, he's they got Wakanda still. You still got Shuri out there. So yeah, they'll find a way to get back in time.
Got Doctor
But-
Strange's plan somewhere in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
Because, he said it is Endgame. So I have a
Totally.
feeling...
Is it May yet?
I know, right? What other movies are we looking forward
Just
to?
need it.
Right. Just this one.
But yeah, that's my rabbit hole of the week. Sorry, guys.
Totally. Yeah, we're definitely...
No, interesting. Now it makes me want to watch that Star Trek.
I
So.
know.
It's a really good episode. It's actually available on Netflix. I watched it twice.
The last episode?
The very last
Very
episode
last.
of the whole series.
Okay, interesting.
And
Oh,
it
wow.
it was a good send-off for Picard and his crew.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it ended well. That's all I can say.
That's my captain. Looking forward to the next Star Trek with
I'm a small
just
Trekkie
Picard.
fan. Small Trekkie fan, not a big one.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah.
I dabble.
We go to a convention. Not Felix, though. He didn't know shit.
I go as a Borg. I'm a Borg every year.
Oh, that'd be sweet, actually. We could totally do that.
Oh, we could be Borg bros.
Totally.
It'd be awesome. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
my tangent is done.
All right, we'll move on from Star Trek.
Trek.
Shut your face.
Actually, he's allowed to say that because he's wearing a football jersey, so he
Yeah,
can't.
goddamn true.
That'll be the jock for the day.
All right, Gandhi, it's time. Let's do a little Predator review before we get into our Predator quiz.
Someone cue the Predator music.
Yeah. So, I'm going to preface with I had mild expectations because I do like Shane Black as a director and a writer. I feel like he's clever. And I like The Predator. I've liked it since, Arnold. And I've it's like a guilty pleasure. This is probably the 6th film in the franchise.
At least, if you count AVPs.
And yeah, it just feels the same.
Yeah.
I don't, it was another one of those where the story was just kind of weak and it was cool to see the Predators, but they didn't really do anything that still, I think in all of these, even when you put the Alien in with the franchise, nothing can touch the original Predator.
I agree.
And this one was just, it was rated R, and there's some gory deaths and some cool stuff done, but for the most part, it's just it's forgettable. I left the theater going, nothing really got me super excited.
What about they were in the trailers? They're showing some super Predator. How did he come around, or how did he come about?
They basically explained it by them splicing DNA because they take the spines, as a trophy, and so what they're doing with those spines is taking the DNA of the best warriors around and making a super Predator.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Well, the problem is
it's like a quick explanation and just moved on.
Wow.
Throw in the one
a
line.
bigger Predator.
so basically lazy writing.
Kind of. That's what it felt like. It just felt like, all right.
Didn't put a whole lot of
They
thought.
used a couple lines from the original movie. They used "get to the choppers,"
Of course, choppers.
Okay.
Choppers, plural.
and they meant choppers as in motorcycles.
Oh,
Yep.
get the fuck out of
Why?
here!
And the famous "You're one ugly motherfucker" was taken by Olivia Munn as "You're one beautiful motherfucker" because she likes aliens and wants to study them. So,
Terrible.
yeah, it's just it's a lot of lazy writing.
My eyes rolling.
There's a lot of
Was it?
They didn't spend a lot of money on it. And
Was it more?
You could tell in the
Was it more
effects.
comedy than action or horror?
No, there's plenty of action, and there's just a bunch of one-liners. The whole idea is the military guys are all on the bus to a mental hospital. They've all got PTSD in some form, and there's Thomas Jane and Keegan-Michael Key, and just a rogues gallery of goofballs, and so the comedy comes from all of them, and it's fine, but it's just not funny. It's not really great. The kid is autistic for one of the military guys, and he is able to work the Predator technology no problem because he's autistic.
Of course.
And that means you can read alien
Language.
So basically we got
technology.
Yeah.
So we basically have
It was just
Mercury rising again.
There you go.
yeah, exactly. A little.
Too smart.
So
for
it
his own good.
was definitely forgettable, but it did make me go down the rabbit hole of the Predator franchise, which is I'll do a quiz on this because I have liked this franchise for a while.
There are a few of them.
Can I ask you a question?
Shoot.
Go and tell me straight up. I just want to know, does Thomas Jane survive?
That's negative.
Of course not. Dang it! What can't the poor guy survive in a freaking movie?
He gets to play a guy who has Tourette's, so he just says the F word.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
I did hear on a review they set the record for F-bombs.
Jeez. Okay.
They actually, him and Keegan-Michael Key are buddies in the movie. They were in war together, and they have the worst deaths possible.
Ooh,
It's
nice.
so bad. So,
Well, here, I'm gonna solve this problem. So the next movie they make for Predator, right? If they still want to collect the best, you gotta bring in Arnold. So you send a Predator.
they had a chance, man. They kept. I don't even want to spoil it. I don't know if you're just gonna watch it.
Probably
but,
not.
They kept alluding to this this artifact that one of the Predators had on his ship.
Yeah.
And I just kept waiting for them to be like, oh man, they've got Arnold. Whatever. Even if it's a CGI bad Terminator looking Arnold, whatever. Just give me that. And the artifact was that. I was like, God damn it!
Oh
Could've-
man.
I was hoping.
Could have at least been Danny Glover.
But yeah,
Right?
something
Danny Glover.
God, yeah,
I'm
just
too old for this shit.
Yeah, he was the give me
Right?
something. But
Didn't Danny Glover? Did he leave with them in the second one?
No.
No.
He's won the gun.
Yeah, they
Because
left
he
him
defeated
armor or
one.
something like that. They're like, good job, kid.
Right.
They took off. Wait, so
Yeah.
so the way this whole movie wraps up, what are they doing with this? Are they like setting up for more movies, or is this becoming a bigger universe?
yeah, the ending is like that, and it's so
Is that
bad.
Fast and the Furious
basically,
thing?
the kid's like, the kid is working in the lab now because that makes sense. You know, a 10-year-old kid is clearly working for the government because he can read Predator.
Of course.
And then
Must be nice.
like they find that artifact ends up being this like super suit that when you put on the bracelet, the person turns into a predator.
Oh god.
That's so fucking lazy.
That's terrible.
It was like, it just was like it jumped out and it attached itself to somebody and they turned into this super predator and then
Save the day.
they were like, oh, that's my suit. Like, the guy that survived, basically, the dad of the kid was like, that looks like my next suit. I hope to have it in a 42 large. And you're like,
Wait, so like they mutate into a predator, or they just gain like the abilities? Like, are they still human?
I hearken it to Tony Stark's
Suit.
new Iron Man
the
suit,
nano
where
suit.
the nanotech like
Okay.
just basically like turns you into like you look like a predator suit. So,
Okay, let me ask you this: if you had to choose, would you rather watch this Predator or the other one with Danny Trejo and oh my god,
Oh, the last
Yeah,
one.
Adrian
by far.
Brody.
yeah, Adrian Brody?
Yeah,
Who knows?
yeah, definitely.
Definitely that one.
Because for me,
Yeah, I would choose that one over
Yeah.
this one for sure. Like it was just at least it had a little bit more gritty feel. It wasn't. This was like just super cheesy and super CGI.
So they're milking the
and-
franchise on this one.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because
Well-
for me, Adrian Brody's still on top of my list for that Predator movie. That was actually pretty good.
Yeah?
in my opinion.
I
Yeah,
think I only saw parts of that one.
It was fine. Yeah, it was kind of forgettable, but
Yeah,
it
it
was.
was
I don't know. It had moments.
Yeah, nothing's gonna live up to the
Enjoyed more
original.
than this one. This one was lacking.
You don't have.
Everyone
You
mailed
don't
it
have
in.
Arnold. You don't have a good movie. All right, Donnie, let's get to this
Could
quiz.
All right.
quiz me.
All right. So I'll start off light. When was the first Predator released?
Use your name.
Oh, Adam.
Felix.
I think it was you, Felix. Go ahead.
He said you first.
1987.
Good work.
Fuck, that was actually what I was.
Somebody keep
That's
score
what I was
because I did
thinking.
not.
I got it.
I do not have a pen or paper, so this is on you
I'm on
guys.
it.
Wow.
You like
All
that
right.
guess? Right on my butt.
You wiped it out first. Jesus.
Which film in the Predator franchise is the highest grossing?
Sam.
Sam.
The first one.
Are we
Nope.
including AVP? Sorry.
Yeah, those do count as part of the franchise. Yeah,
Felix.
Felix.
Is it AVP?
It is.
Ah,
okay.
damn, AVP. it.
And somehow, like, that's what makes me surprised about this. It only grossed $80 million. I'm like, how do they keep
Oh,
for
allowing
real?
these? Like, I don't-
Total?
like, they must
Or
be-
opening weekend?
Yeah, that's all.
For real?
And that's the highest
Holy
grossing.
shit.
So I'm like, they must.
Is Prometheus 1 and 2 in this, or is that considered Aliens?
No, because we're talking only
Okay.
Predator.
Okay.
So.
Okay, moving on.
All right. So, what other action film did Jesse Ventura and Arnold star in the same year that the Predator came out?
Sam. I'm
Sam.
gonna take a wild guess. Running Man.
Good man.
Nice. Yes. Very good, Sam.
A good year for Arnold because I loved
Yeah.
it.
Dude,
yeah.
that movie was
That movie's
dope.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What states did the two actors go on to become governors of?
Felix.
Yeah.
California and Minnesota.
For who?
Nice.
Jesse Ventura from Minnesota.
Very good, sir.
Good work. Good work. All right. So, what year was the first Alien vs. Predator game released?
Game?
Ooh.
Oh.
Sam. 1992.
Nope.
Felix. 1985. Yeah.
Nope.
I'm thinking later than that. Hoover, we're going with 2001.
Yeah. No. You guys were close in the beginning.
Shit.
1994.
Wow, I didn't think it was that early.
It was out on Sega CD, right?
Yeah, it was.
Or Sega Genesis.
It was a first-person shooter, but the follow-up question to that would be, what platform was it?
Felix.
Shit.
Is it Jaguar?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow,
Yep.
really?
Yeah.
You dirty
Nice.
bitch.
That's a pull, man.
Dirty.
I was like, I don't remember
man.
how I
No,
even played
right?
this game. Like, it was the only film in the franchise that wasn't rated R before this one.
Felix.
Yeah.
Is it AVP Requiem? Yeah.
Nope.
Sam. Is it AVP?
It is.
Ah, damn
Ah,
it.
the first one. Wow.
Which would probably explain why they
Right,
grossed the highest
PG-13.
because
That makes sense.
Right.
Should have went there. Good call.
Movie is shit.
That bullshit.
All right, so I did some research on the actor who actually played the first Predator. Kevin Peter Hall played the Predator in both the first two films, but he also played an iconic 80s Bigfoot. Who was it?
Adam. Harry and the Hendersons?
Son of a bitch! Oh my god, what's in my head? I was about to say
Wasn't
it.
he just called Bigfoot? That was Harry.
No, it was Harry Henderson.
I didn't know
Nice.
that.
Good one.
Fun fact?
Yeah. Who was originally cast as the Predator for the
Sam.
first film? Yep.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Nice.
For real?
That's right.
Yep.
I remember that.
Yep, for real.
it.
They changed their
Yeah,
mind when they
short-ass
realized how
Predator.
short he was compared to all these big-ass bodybuilders.
Well, not
They're
with
like,
that, but like
Why was he gonna
Van
be
Damme
like-
couldn't do it because the costume was too hot.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
overheating. He couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Was he going to
The
do like
idea
flying
behind it
kicks
was
and
they were
shit?
going to have this martial arts,
Right?
kind of Predator.
That's so weird.
Show up doing his
I'm
best.
glad they didn't do that.
But you're welcome. I knew that one on top
Yeah,
of my
that
head.
was good. Yeah. Quick reaction there. All right.
All right, so Shane Black, who wrote and directed this one, was involved in the Predator franchise before. Can you tell me how?
Adam.
Ooh.
He was one of the original members of Schwarzenegger's squad that went in. the first
Nice.
Predator.
Good work.
True.
He was.
Shane Black.
He was,
Yep,
radio,
he was.
radio operator Rick Hawkins, the guy with the
Hawkins, yeah.
glasses,
Glasses.
the
Yep.
scrawny guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Check that
Yep.
out. Wow, I didn't know that.
Good job, Adam.
Thank you.
These are ones I actually thought was going to stump you guys later on. I was like, okay. All right, so last one to wrap it up. What do we got? Who's
I got
who's on top?
Felix 4, Adam 3, Sam 2.
All right, here we go. Last one. Who was the voice of the Predator in the original film?
Damn.
Whoa.
Felix.
Yeah,
James Earl Jones.
that's a good guess.
Adam.
Yeah.
Ron Perlman.
No.
Sam.
Yeah.
The guy who voiced Winnie the Pooh.
It was Optimus Prime himself,
Oh,
Peter Cullen.
damn.
Really?
What?
Huh. Interesting.
I wanted to say Bobcat Goldthwait, but I'm pretty sure that wasn't right.
Oh, shit. All right, well, Felix with
Yeah.
4 takes this one.
I'll take it.
Actually,
Good
that's
work, good
awesome
work.
because it matches your jersey.
Hell yeah.
Number 4.
Oh,
That's right.
I'm afraid to go see the score.
Well done. Good job there, Gani, on the quiz.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks, sir.
Nice.
Good
Cowboys
one,
are still winning. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Ah, good. Okay. Breather.
It's a
It's
matter
a real barn burner, just like I thought.
Yeah, no kidding.
Actually, yeah, I saw behind the scenes for Predators one night because I like to get behind the scenes on the movies, and they're talking about how it was originally Jean-Claude Van Damme, and I was like, "What? That's a tiny ass Predator."
No, totally.
Like Arnold would just
Yeah.
crush him in a heartbeat.
It would not be intimidating to Arnold.
A ninja Predator
Yeah.
would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe they need to go back in that direction.
That would be interesting, that's for sure. Makes
That's
me want to
good.
go back
That's
and watch
fun.
the first one, that's for sure.
Get to the chopper.
It was the best one.
Yeah.
Get to the
Hands down.
choppers.
The choppers.
Ugh.
God.
Oh,
All
I
right.
don't have time to bleed. So many good lines.
that hurts my heart. Just the fact that it said "get to the choppers" and it's
And it
motorcycle.
was motorcycle. Oh, gosh.
How were you so patient watching that movie and not roll your eyes so many times, bro?
Oh.
Yeah, I had time to kill.
No.
Right? I'm sure there was multiple eye rolls.
Yeah,
Did,
there was.
did you try to get a refund? Where you're like, "Hey guys, I just wasted my life here. Can I get half my money back?"
Then they laughed at
you
your
know, it's
face.
still entertaining, just mildly.
Mildly.
So,
Next time. What's up on the docket for releases coming up? Anything good?
Halloween's coming up soon. I'm fucking excited
Yeah.
for that. And Venom.
Venom. Yeah, Venom would be.
What's that?
Venom.
I don't know. Some little Marvel movie.
Tom Hardy making a weird voice and being all weird and gooey.
Or he's wearing Stimpy?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Oh,
Speaking of which, where's Eddie this week?
Say again?
Where's Eddie this week?
Oh, I don't know. He might be
Work.
out of the savannas this time and
No.
into the outback.
I think he's waiting in line for the next iPhone.
Well, let's make a random stories for Eddie. He's actually still at DMV right now.
Yeah.
Waiting in Satan's asshole.
Just don't forget, guys. Believe in the Fitzpatrick magic.
Fitzpatrick. Fitzmagic. All right, well, on that note.
Yeah, because the Bucks 2-0, baby. First time ever in my life. 2-0.
We already know this season's a fluke. We had 2 ties.
Whoa, whoa. Don't you dare say that, okay?
Do over.
Gonna
Let
write-
me
write off the
enjoy my
Bucks.
season. Let me enjoy my season, please.
Yeah,
Guys,
fine.
come on.
You can have this one.
Hey, It's working out pretty well for you so far.
Exactly.
Browns almost tied again.
I know.
If it wasn't for a literally last under minute to go, the Saints kicking a field goal, they were going to go to overtime again.
Fucking Saints, man.
Dude,
man.
did you see the Raiders versus the Broncos?
I skipped it.
They lost by 1. So they literally just got Gruden to lose the first 2 games for the season.
That's not good.
Great
I
purchase.
saw this little stat before the Cowboys game, and it was teams that are 0-2 are only 7% to make the playoffs. So
Not Gruden.
Wow.
not good.
There's our team, Vegas.
Yeah.
Hope you're happy.
Haha, Niners are 1-1. Woo! There's hope still.
There is hope. I'm hoping the Cowboys can get there here pretty quick. All right, guys. Been fun. We'll catch you next week. Thank you all for listening. Anything to finish the show, guys?
You know, I appreciate everybody listening and joining us every week. Please tell your friends about us.
Watch the Predator.
Maybe. But
Play Spider-Man.
yeah,
Yes.
go play Spider-Man.
Listen and follow and give us feedback.
Totally.
Yes, go do that.
Yes, please comment,
Yeah.
follow,
Share the love,
subscribe.
everybody. Share the love.
If anybody else has finished it, I would love to talk spoilers with you. Hit me up.
There you go. Hit us up. We'd love to talk to you guys.
Message direct.
All right, guys. Appreciate y'all.
Thanks,
Love you
guys.
next week.
Peace out.
See you next week.